So it's going to be live now on YouTube, and it will be stored over there. So I'm a little bit under the weather today, but I thought Mother Kumar Prabhu asked me, "Are we going to do the session? Are you okay, Prabhu?" Then I said, "It's been a while. It's been a while that we have done the Srimad Bhagavatam class, one thing after another coming up." So I thought some or other, let's begin. Let's restart, because that restarting is the main thing. Then I said, so for my purification, I must do it today. I know that I'm not up to the mark, but at least we can do something.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
No,
Thank you so much.
It's for my own purification,
And ours as well, along with yours.
For all of us, thank you. We really appreciate it.
No, it's nice because we missed it for a while, and we did the second canto quite well, and so Wednesdays were getting trickier for me, and I was in a dilemma what to do and all. But now we are back on Thursday. I think we will move forward without a doubt. But I'm very grateful for your kind enthusiasm and eagerness and commitment, determination to come and attend these classes. Really appreciate that. So let's begin with invocation, and we will discuss, we'll do a little bit of overview of the previous chapters and do part of the 5th chapter. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavat Yuttama Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuki. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, in the beginning of thought, we have seen Vidura was kicked out of Hastinapur by Duryodhan. Vidura gave some nice advice to Dhritarashtra, saying that you have been maintaining sin personified. Your son Duryodhan is an offense personified. So you've been maintaining him, so it will not cause any good to you. So Duryodhan did not like that statement, and then he chastised Vidura, saying that you're a son of a maid servant. Come on, you are just living here because of our mercy. We are giving some grains. You're living here. It's just because of our mercy. So you're just a son of Shudrani. You are a Shudra, maid servant. Like that, he criticized Vidura, and Vidura took that as an opportunity to go to pilgrimage. And from that, we understand, whenever there is a challenge comes, we have two options. One is to run towards Krishna. The second is run away from Krishna or run towards Maya. We have always two options. So a devotee run towards Krishna. But if we are not strong devotionally, we run away from Krishna. So from Vidura, we can understand. So when he was in that tricky situation, so he took that as an opportunity just to went to pilgrimage, visit various holy places. Whenever we get some problem, we can open Srimad Bhagavatam, read a story from Srimad Bhagavatam, or we can call a friend, a devotee friend, and speak to them, rather than just thinking and completely stay away from devotees. Sometimes devotees say, Prabhu, I've not seen you from in the temple for a while. And the answer I get is that, oh, Prabhu, I got full of problems. So I ask them, your problems are going to be solved if you stay away from Krishna? Do you think by not coming to temple, by not associating with devotees, do you think you're going to solve all your problems? Answer is no. Straight away, no. But we get carried away. So here he nicely went to pilgrimages to see various holy places. And on the bank of Yamuna, Vidura met Uddhav. Uddhav was very close associate of Lord Shri Krishna. He was a cousin brother of Shri Krishna, and his bodily features exactly resembles that of Lord Shri Krishna. He was a great devotee, a pure devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. We recently had a class, Srimad Bhagavatam class on Uddhav. Dinbandhu Prabhu gave. It was so nice hearing about Uddhav. So Krishna chose Uddhav and asked him to go to Vrindavan. So when Krishna left Vrindavan, he said to gopis that he's going to return. He said to all the Vrajavasis that he's going to return at some point. When Akrura went to bring Krishna and Balrama to Mathura, so that time Krishna told actually all the gopis, they formed a queue and they did not let Akrura go to Mathura, taking Krishna away from them. So Krishna promised them that he would return to Vrindavan. But however, so he sent a message through Uddhav. He chose Uddhav to send him to Vrindavan to give this message that Krishna is not going to return. So he was such a close friend, and as well as a minister. Sometimes Krishna used to take advice. Krishna likes to depend on his devotees. Although everyone in the universe depends on Krishna, Krishna likes to depend on his own devotees. That's his free will. With his independence, he chooses to be dependent on his pure devotees. That is his sweet will. So Uddhav was extremely dear to the Lord. So Uddhav and Vidura met Uddhav on the bank of Yamuna. So as soon as Vidura saw Uddhav, then he started inquiring about all about Yadu and Bhoja dynasty, dynasties of the Lord. Uh, so he asked how is Lord's children, and all, etc., etc. He asked so many questions about Krishna and his relatives. And then, so after being questioned by Vidura, Uddhav, he went into ecstasy just by remembering Krishna. he just went into ecstasy for some time. And he could not speak a word because, Vidura was asking about the Lord, and just by remembering the Lord, he went to ecstasy. But he checked those tears, he checked those loving, ecstatic symptoms, and he came back to the normal situation, so that he will be able to answer. We also understand that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami did not mention any names of gopis. Not even one gopi's name was mentioned. Our acharyas mentioned that if he had uttered the name of any of the gopis, he would have gone into complete ecstasy, and then he would not be able to continue speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. So for that reason, Shukadeva Goswami never uttered the name of a single gopi in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sometimes some people question, Radharani was not mentioned and things like that. But Radharani was mentioned many times, many Puranas. Vishnu Purana, it is mentioned. Padma Purana, it is mentioned. In other Puranas, it is clearly mentioned. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, time and again, it's mentioned one special gopi, like that. So Vidura, Uddhav, then he came back to senses, and so he described all the pastimes, right from his birth, the Vrindavan pastimes, Madhura pastimes of Dwaraka, and at the end, the complete annihilation of Yadu and Bhoja dynasty. So Uddhav did in detail he described. So during describing the annihilation part, he mentioned how due to the curse of a sage, that is actually arranged by the Lord. It's Lord's will. The sage curse is like an external thing, but actually it's the Lord's will. So when the Lord wanted to wind up his pastimes on this earthly planet, so Uddhav knows. The other Yadus did not know. That's why they went to that Prabhasa and they drank this special, drink, and then they started, fighting, and then, they killed one another. And Uddhav clearly knows about this. So actually, Uddhav was ordered by the Lord not to come to that place. But Uddhav was so much attached to the Lord, he decided to follow the Lord. And so then Uddhav saw the Lord sitting under a banyan tree, young banyan tree. Lord instructed him in the transcendental knowledge. That time, Maitreya Muni was also there. He accidentally happened to be there. He happened to come. Prabhupada mentions that Maitreya Muni was due to some Ajnata Sukriti, he happened to be there. So while the Lord, in that last hour, instructing Uddhav, also instructed Maitreya Muni. Maitreya Muni heard while he was instructing Uddhav, and we can see these instructions in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. There are so many wonderful lessons. It is called Uddhav Gita. So many lessons, wonderful lessons are there. It's quite big. So Parikshit Maharaj asked why only Uddhav remained. Why didn't he wind up leave? Why didn't he leave from this planet? Shukadeva Goswami answered, saying that Krishna, so he decided that he wanted to entrust Uddhav in this transcendental knowledge. Uddhav is no way inferior to Krishna, it is said. He is as good as Krishna, it is said. And so if Uddhav was entrusted in this knowledge, Uddhav can disseminate this knowledge to others. So that is the reason Lord ordered Uddhav to go to Badrikashram. In the Badrikashram, Naranarayan Rishi are there, and with Naranarayan Rishi, there are so many other sages also there. So he was ordered by the Lord to go and stay there, and stay in the association of Naranarayan Rishi. So that is the main reason, so that he can disseminate this knowledge to others. Vidura asked, my dear Uddhav, can you please, give me that knowledge that you had received from the Lord? Can you accept me as your disciple and educate me in that knowledge? Uddhav felt a little bit uncomfortable. Uddhav was on the level of his son. Vidura was on the level of father. So he felt uncomfortable, and he said, it is better you go to Maitreya. When Lord was instructing me in the devotional service, at the time of winding up his pastimes from this earthly planet, Maitreya was also present. So it is better you go to Maitreya and ask all these questions, and he would be able to educate you, enlighten you. After saying that, Uddhav spent a night there. It was just like a past, like a moment. And Uddhav left that place and went to Badrikashram. And then Maitreya left from that place, bank of Yamuna, and then Maitreya was staying on the bank of Ganga, very close by Hardwar. So Vidura then left and met Maitreya on the bank of Ganges in Hardwar. So that's where the 5th chapter begins. We will do some 16 verses today, and then we will do the rest of the chapter later on. Okay, so let's bring up the text. Yeah. So I'll share the screen. Yeah.
What year was he born?
So text 1 to 9.
Shall I read?
Madhakumar Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, we can go alphabetically. So Anil
Yeah, it's
Singh, Prabhu
yeah,
can.
you manage it, so I don't want to really interfere in that.
No, it's just alphabetical as we
Yeah, so we
discussed.
are beginning after a long time, so that's
Yeah.
fine.
Anil Prabhu, then Anuradha Mataji, then Arvind Prabhu, like that.
Yeah. So we only have 2 sections today, but there are a couple of purports we will read.
Yeah. Anil Singh Prabhu, you're okay to read it?
Yes.
One.
Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Text 1. Sukadeva Goswami said, Vidura, the best among the Kuru dynasty, who was perfect in devotional service to the Lord, thus reached the source of celestial Ganges river, Hardwar, where Maitreya, the great
Fathomless.
Can you see that? Or, we lost him.
Yeah, I think we lost his audio.
Vidura said, O great sage,
Prabhu,
everyone
we lost your audio for a bit. Can you read again from the Fathomless?
fathomless learned sage of the world was seated. Vidura, who was perfect in gentleness and satisfied in transcendence, inquired from him. Text 2. Vidura said, O great sage, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness, but one finds neither satiation nor the mitigation of distress. On the contrary, one is only aggravated by such activities. Please, therefore, give us directions on how one should live for real happiness. O my Lord, great philanthropic souls travel on the earth on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to show compassion to the fallen souls who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. Therefore, O great sage, please give me instruction on the transcendental devotional service of the Lord, so that he who is situated in the heart of everyone can be pleased to impart from within knowledge of the absolute truth in terms of the ancient Vedic principles delivered only to those who are purified by the process of devotional service. O great sage, kindly narrate how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the independent, desireless Lord of the three worlds and the controller of all energies, accepts incarnations and creates the cosmic manifestation with perfectly arranged regulative principles for its maintenance. Text 6. He lies down on his own hot spread in the form of the sky, and thus, placing the whole creation in that space, he expands himself into many living entities, which are manifested as different species of life. He does not have to endeavor for his maintenance, because he is the master of all mystic powers and the proprietor of everything. Thus, he is distinct from the living entities. You may narrate also about the auspicious characteristics of the Lord in his different incarnations for the welfare of the twice born, the cows, and the demigods. Our minds are never satisfied completely, although we continuously hear of his transcendental activities. The Supreme King of all kings has created different planets and places of habitation where living entities are situated in terms of the modes of nature and work. And he has created their different kings and rulers. O chief among the Brahmanas, please also describe how Narayana, the creator of the universe and the self-sufficient Lord, has differently created the natures, activities, forms, features, and names of the different living creatures.
Thank you, Prabhu. So here we can see that the inquisitiveness of Vidura, that although he was a pure devotee of Lord himself, he's happy to inquire from other devotees and learn more about the Lord. That is the nature of a saintly person. He always inquires seniors and other devotees on the subject matter of devotion. So Vidura, although was a pure devotee, asked a fundamental question that is concerning about the common people. So he was very much concerned about common people, and he asked this basic question, which is very valid to all of us. So in text 2, he says this. O great sage, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness. Yeah, everyone works to get the happiness, isn't it? But one finds neither satiation nor the mitigation of distress. On the contrary, one is only aggravated by such activities. Please therefore give us directions on how one should live for real happiness. How to live for real happiness? This was the question. Although we work, but ultimately we are simply, our work is only leading to misery. So Vidura's fundamental question for all of us is that how we all can live very happily. So let's read the purport and we can take a couple of lessons from this. Who would like to read? Madhakumar Prabhu?
It's Anuradha Mataji next.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Haribol.
Purport. Vidura asked Maitreya some common questions, which was not originally his intention. Uddhava asked Vidura to approach Maitreya Muni and ask into all the truths concerning the Lord, his name, fame, qualities, form, pastimes, entourage, etc. And thus, when Vidura approached Maitreya, he should have asked only about the Lord. But out of natural humility, he did not immediately ask about the Lord, but inquired into a subject which would be of great importance to the common man. A common man cannot understand the Lord. He must first know the real position of his life under the influence of the illusory energy. In illusion, one thinks that he can be happy only by fruitive activities. But what actually happens is that one becomes more and more entangled in the network of action and reaction and does not find any solution to the problem of life. There is a nice song in this connection. Because of a great desire to have all happiness in life, I built this house. But unfortunately, the whole scheme has turned to ashes because a house was unexpectedly set on fire. The law of nature is like that. Everyone tries to become happy by planning in the material world, but the law of nature is so cruel that it sets fire to one's schemes. The fruitive worker is not happy in his schemes, nor is there any satiation in his continuous hankering for happiness.
Thank you, Mataji. So I was hearing the other day, one devotee was speaking that to experience happiness in this world, you need three things. One is time. You need to have time, and you need to have good health. Yes. So if you don't have good health, how can you enjoy? And the third one is wealth. So time, health, wealth. So in the childhood, we have plenty of time. Our health is also in reasonably good shape, but we don't have much money. One factor is gone. And during the middle-aged, we work hard. So no time, basically. So we try and make money, but there is no time. People even say that they don't have time to die also. They work, and there is no time. So they don't have, they can't enjoy. In the later age, They have money, they earned, they got money. They also got probably some time because of the retirement, but there is no health. Huh? So always one factor is missing. Also Krishna says, no? So this is a place full of misery. But whatever joy we are experiencing, if you are not in a good shape, if you are not healthy, that we can't enjoy anything. But that is actually, by the mercy of the Lord. If you are able to maintain our health properly, we have to see that it's because of the mercy of the Lord. So in this world, Vidura says that yes, everybody is trying to work hard and hard and hard, but there is ultimately no enjoyment. So, and this question was that how can one get that real enjoyment? So we are all very fortunate to get onto this path of bhakti and come to the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam and Srila Prabhupada. We are very, very fortunate. So it is said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu philosophy is simple, that you don't give up your family life. You don't give up your work. You simply chant Hare Krishna mantra sitting at your home. Don't do anything. No problem. Don't take sannyas. Don't give up your wife. Don't give up your children. Don't give up your parents. Don't give up your work. Simply sit at home, hear Krishna Katha in the association of devotees, just like this. And chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the sum and substance of entire Vedic literature. Because it is so simple, we forget about it. We are so complicated. That's why the Krishna consciousness is simple for the simple, complicated for the complicated. It is actually so simple. We just stay at home and give some of our energy, whether it is wealth or time, to engage our energy in the service of the Lord. And chant Hare Krishna, eat prasadam. This is it. So later, Maitreya, he glorifies the saintly people. They travel all over the earth, being compassionate to the fallen souls. These normal people, they are very averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. They do not want to surrender to the Lord. They don't like saying that there is a God, that they have to obey the Lord's instructions and laws. But however, these saintly people, they are so great, so compassionate. So they travel all over the world. We can see that Prabhupada happily was living in Vrindavan very nicely at the age of 69. So at the age of 50, I'm having so many changes in my body. But Prabhupada at the age of 69 was living in Vrindavan. So he left Vrindavan simply and traveled all over the globe for 14 times or something like that, just to deliver the fallen conditioned souls. Then Maitreya Vidura asks, questions relating to, various Purusha incarnations, Virat Rupa, Leela Avataras, etc., etc. So many questions Vidura asks Maitreya in this section. And now we'll read from text 10 till 6 to 16.
Arvind Prabhu, you can go ahead.
Sure. O my Lord, I have repeatedly heard about these higher and lower statuses of human society from the mouth of Vyasadeva, and I am quite satiated with all these lesser subject matters and their happiness. They have not satisfied me with the nectar of topics about Krishna. Who in human society can be satisfied without hearing sufficient talk of the Lord, whose lotus feet are the sum total of all places of pilgrimage, and who is worshipped by great sages and devotees? Such topics can cut off one's bondage to family affection simply by entering the holes of one's ears. Your friend, the great sage Krishna Dvaipara Vyasa, has already described the transcendental qualities of the Lord in his great work, the Mahabharata. But the whole idea is to draw attention to the mass of people to Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Gita, through their strong affinity for hearing mundane topics. For one who is anxious to engage constantly in hearing such topics, Krishna Katha gradually increases his indifference towards all other things. Such constant remembrance of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna by the devotee who has achieved transcendental bliss vanquishes all his miseries without delay. O sage, persons who because of their sinful activities are averse to the topics of transcendence and thus ignorant of the purpose of the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, are pitied by the pitiable. I also pity them because I see how their duration of life is spoiled by eternal time, while they involve themselves in presentations of philosophical speculation, theoretical ultimate goals of life, and different modes of ritual. O Maitreya, O friend of the distressed, the glories of the Supreme Lord can alone do good for people all over the world. Therefore, just as bees collect honey from flowers, kindly describe the essence of all topics, the topics of the Lord. Kindly chant all those superhuman transcendental activities of the Supreme Controller, the personality of Godhead, who accepted incarnations fully equipped with all potency for the full manifestation and maintenance of the cosmic creation.
Thank you, Aravind Prabhu. So in this section, we see that how Vidura is not interested in other topics. He is mainly exclusively interested in hearing Krishna Katha. And he glorifies this point in text 11, that how this hearing will free one from the bondage. So in text 11, we'll read the purport also. We in human society can be satisfied without hearing sufficient talk of the Lord, whose lotus feet are the sum total of all places of pilgrimage, and who is worshipable by great sages and devotees. Such topics can cut off one's bondage to family affection simply by entering the holes of one's ear. So just by hearing, and then we can automatically unattach. We become, rather than detach, we become unattached to this material world. We have so many examples in the scriptures how even great kings, although they were living here, they were unattached. They were doing their duties. They had children. They had wealth. They had all sort of opulences. Yet they were fully absorbed in Lord Krishna. Just by simply hearing the Krishna Katha, one becomes unattached to the material things. Let's read the purport. Anyone? Mother Prabhu next?
Yeah, Bhakti Devi is up if she's available.
I'm not sure. Bhakti, are you there?
Yes, she's coming.
Krishna Katha is so powerful that simply by entering into a person's ear, it can at once give deliverance from the bondage of family affection. Family affection is an illusory manifestation of an external energy, and it is the only impetus for all mundane activities. As long as there is mundane activity and the mind is absorbed in such engagement, one has to undergo the repetition of birth and death in the current material world.
Neuroscience.
In the material neuroscience. People are most influenced by the mode of ignorance, and some are influenced by the passionate mode of material nature. And under the spell of these two modes of a living being is actuated by the material conception of life. The mundane qualities do not allow a living entity to understand his real position. The qualities of both ignorance and passion strongly bind one to the illusory bodily conception of the self. The best among fools who are thus deluded are those who engage in altruistic activities under the spell of the material mode of passion. Bhagavad Gita, which is direct Krishna Katha, gives humanity the elementary lesson that the body is perishable and that the consciousness which is prepared throughout the body is imperishable. The consciousness, being the imperishable self, is eternally existent and cannot be killed under any circumstances. Even after the dissolution of the body, anyone who misunderstands this perishable body to be the self and who works for it in the name of sociology, politics, philanthropy, altruism, nationalism, or internationalism, under the false plea of the bodily conception of life, is certainly a fool and does not know the implications of reality and unreality. Some of them are above the modes of ignorance and passion, and are situated in the modes of goodness, but mundane goodness is always contaminated by tinges of ignorance and passion. Mundane goodness can enlighten one that the body and the self are different, and one in goodness is concerned with the self and not the body. But due to being contaminated, those in mundane goodness cannot understand the real nature of the self as a person. The impersonal conception of the self as distinct from the body keeps them in the mode of goodness within material nature, and unless they are attracted by Krishna Katha, they will never be liberated from the bondage of material existence. Krishna Katha is the only remedy for all people of the world because it can situate one in pure goodness of the self and liberate one from material bondage. To preach Krishna Katha all over the world, as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, is the greatest missionary activity, and all sensible men and women of the world may join in this great movement started by Chaitanya.
Thank you. So all sensible men and women of this world may join in spreading this Krishna Katha. So we need soldiers. We are recruiting warriors every day. Every day we can recruit, as many as possible. We need more warriors for spreading this Krishna Katha. And Prabhupada says this is the only remedy for our material contamination. So that what we have to do is we hear and we spread this to others. And in the second chapter of first canto, it is said that how do we get affinity, attraction to hear Srimad Bhagavatam? Shrushtrutro Shretadhanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishedhanat. When one serves a pure devotee of the Lord, by serving a pure devotee of the Lord, one develops attraction towards Krishna Katha. And when we hear Krishna Katha, what happens? Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. So we have so many unwanted things in our heart. We know that sometimes. I know practically, I can see from my own life. Yes, I know some of the things are not right, but we are forced to do. This is because of the nature, because being influenced by passion and ignorance, we act in that way. There is no knowledge develops. There is no real knowledge developed when one is influenced by ignorance and passion. In the goodness, there is some knowledge. So when we hear Krishna Katha, abhadreshu, nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu, all the unwanted things in the heart, so they gradually disappear from the heart. When they disappear, when the unwanted things disappear, then we become fixed up in devotional service to the Lord. So this is how we progress further. But it all begins, as stated in the second chapter of first canto, it begins from rendering service to the pure devotees of the Lord. And we are all very, very fortunate. We got Prabhupada to serve. We got Prabhupada to serve. We got, he said that anybody can, come to him and he is happy to accept. So if we engage in his mission, then automatically we develop attraction to hear this Krishna Katha. So anybody can open a little sangha, and they can do this hearing. They can preach to their family members. They can preach to their friends, and sometimes it's easy to give a book. It's very difficult if you have a close family member, close friend, they don't want to listen to you, and just give a gift. And our Mother Kumar Prabhu is very happy. Christmas is coming, and we got so many Bhagavad Gitas lying there, and this is a good time to give a little gift to our friends and family members. And they act like a time bomb. Time bomb is a bomb, it will blast off when the right time comes, in due course. So like that, we can give a little book as well. And then he talks, Vidura says that I'm not interested in all this, in sociology, politics, nationalism, internationalism, altruism, etc. The Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, there are all these things are given. A lot of politics, a lot of diplomacy is given. But the real purpose of Mahabharata is to attract one to Bhagavad Gita. That is a hidden gem in Mahabharata. So people think all these, they talk, and Vidura says that they waste time. They discuss the unnecessary philosophical arguments on the politics and sociology and other topics that are given in Mahabharata. They waste their life. They simply waste their life. But Vidura says that I'm not interested in that. The main purpose of Mahabharata is, of course, to attract one to Bhagavad Gita. And Vidura says that describe to me anything related to Krishna. And then in text 15, he says, "O Maitreya, O friend of distress, the glories of Supreme Lord can alone do good for people all over the world." So this is there is a word called Shreyas and Preyas. So temporary benefit and a permanent benefit. All other things that we are trying to endeavor in this material world, they will give some temporary relief, temporary benefit, but Shreyas is a long-term benefit, eternal benefit. Here, the glories of Supreme Lord alone can do good for people all over the world. Therefore, just as bees collect honey from the flowers, kindly describe the essence of all topics, the topics of the Lord. So, bumblebee, what it does is it doesn't get disturbed. It simply, takes the nectar. Let's read the purport of this verse. Mother Kumar Prabhu?
Yeah, Drishti, are you available to read, Drishti?
Yes, I think I'm good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So the purport.
Yes, please.
Okay. There are many topics for different persons in different modes of material nature, but the essential topics are those in relationship with the Supreme Lord. Unfortunately, materially affected conditional souls are more or less averse to topics of the Supreme Lord, because some of them do not believe in the existence of God, and some of them believe only in the impersonal feature of the Lord. In both cases, there is nothing for them to say of God. Both the non-believers and the impersonalists deny the essence of all topics. Therefore, they engage in the topics of relativity in various ways, either in sense gratification or in mental speculation. For the pure devotee, like Vidura, the topics of both the mundaners and the mental speculators are useless in all respects. Thus, Vidura requested Maitreya to talk of the essence only, the talk of Krishna and nothing else.
Thank you, Drishti.
Thank you, Drishti Devi.
Wonderful. So he's not interested in neither mundane nor philosophical, just speculative arguments. They simply, waste. It is said in Mahabharata, Tarko pratishta shrutayo vibhanna na asau yasya rushirmatam na vibhinnam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena kata sapanta. Maharaj Yudhishthir says, Tarko pratishta. There is no basis for this argument. Yes, one puts one, the other puts, stronger logician comes, he put another argument, and more stronger logician comes, he defeats. Tarko apratishta shrutayo vibhinna. The Vedas also speak different things because the different things are meant for different people. Na asau yasya rushir matam na vibhinnam. Also, different sages have different opinions. But where is the truth, real truth? And Maharaj Yudhishthir says, the real truth is hidden in the heart of a pure devotee. So that's why one should follow the path shown by a pure devotee. So here Vidura is a pure devotee. Prabhupada, we have pure devotee. There are so many arguments, and we don't know how long we live in this world for. Rather than wasting the time, we can just follow the path that is shown by Prabhupada. Prabhupada has simply shown, he has given a simple, straightforward path. He said, follow 4 regulative principles and chant 16 rounds. So the 4 regulative principles, namely, no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit relationship. Follow these 4 regulative principles and chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Eat prasadam, associate with the devotees. Do whatever little service that is possible. This is the path that is shown by the pure devotee of the Lord. If we can follow, then we will achieve perfection. And because Prabhupada said, if you follow this, you will go back to Godhead in this lifetime. So because Prabhupada said Krishna has to do it. Krishna, he obeys the conditions set forth by his pure devotees. So it is simple that we just take to the mission of Prabhupada and follow this, and also we practice and we give it to others as well. That way we can perfect our life. And I'll stop there. We got a few more minutes. If anybody has any comments, any realizations, any thoughts, please do so.
So we read till 15, bro, yeah?
16 we completed.
16.
Yeah.
Thank you Prabhu, for highlighting some key messages. I'll just share my takeaway was where you mentioned that the taste for spiritual life can be developed by rendering service to the pure devotee of the Lord. And Prabhupada is a great example of an empowered pure devotee of the Lord. And irrespective of whether he's present in person or no, we can still serve him by following his instruction and please him by distributing his work, his books. So just a vote of thanks really for all the members of this Bhagavatam Sangha. We celebrated Bhadra Purnima, and a lot of people, a lot of devotees in the group participated. I think I was just taking account, nearly 75% members in this Sangha group have Bhagavatam sets now. And so that's very, very good. I'll be in touch with the rest of the 25% people.
Only 75? Not under percentage?
Yeah, we're getting there, Prabhu. And
We're getting there.
Thank you for all the devotees who either donated a set or contributed to subsidizing a set, which helped ISKCON Manchester distribute 35 Bhagavatam sets so far this year. And it looks a sizable number for us, but any guesses for anybody, from anybody, as to how many ISKCON's done worldwide? How many sets distributed worldwide? Any guesses, anybody? I'll give you a clue. Last year, 22,000 sets were done.
Maybe this year, 30,000?
A little bit more. So ISKCON Manchester is 0.1% of the total. Around the world, we distributed 35,000 Bhagavatam sets. Our contribution is 0.1%, and it all adds up. So thank you once again for everybody who supported. I know Arvind Prabhu donated, gifted a friend, and Shakshi Mataji supported, and Anuradha Mataji now has a set, and Gaurati Mataji also contributed. So that's very nice. Thank you once again, everyone. It was, I think, a good success. We have already surpassed last year's effort, and we're looking to just maybe add another 15 to make it to 50 for the year. Thank you once again, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Excellent. So not only we are trying to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam, but we also have this Sangha group here, and we can read and discuss the Srimad Bhagavatam. The main point is, yes, we distribute, we have a set, but if we have a set, we don't open, we don't read, then we don't get the benefit really. So this is a Sangha group. Madhav Kumar Prabhu, requested us to come together and form this group to read Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam. It is very important. Yeah. So thank you once again, everyone, and hopefully we'll able to continue again from this week onwards, every Thursday. Let's hope we'll make some progress. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granda Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Get well soon, Prabhuji. Get well soon.